Hey guys, this is V4U Radio, once again bringing such a great session, afternoon session, in fact, with once again the South Asian United Mental Health. This show we brought you a slight promotion last week, and now we're bringing the second promotion, some more details, in fact, about the event which is happening on 23rd of November here in Edmonton. I've got wonderful people here, two from South Asian United Mental Health, and also one of the lead workshop organizers, Ujala Healing. So again, welcome guys, welcome Hari, welcome Rahul, and welcome Shameen.
Hello.
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 Okay, so we are back with some exciting talks about the South Asian United Mental Health. The event itself is happening on the 23rd of November. So first again, thank you for to Hari and Rahul from South Asian United Mental Health for thinking about such a great event. For some it may be boring, for some it may be very interesting, and for most actually they look out to see what actually is happening, especially for Canadian Mental Health Association, which is one of your co-partners. Maanav Sewa is the second one. CISC, which is the Council of Indian Societies of Edmonton. Were you able to bring so many organizations? And Ojala, of course. How were you able to bring in so many organizations? You look very young for your ages. So, again, Rahul, going back to you, tell me something about South Asian United Mental Health first.
Yeah. So South Asian United Mental Health was some history behind it is that we had some founding members come together earlier last year, and collectively everyone was like, hey, we think there is this stigma around mental health in the South Asian community, and we wanted to think of ways to tackle that stigma in the South Asian uh, mental health community. And so one thing that we hosted previously last year that Hari played a big role in creating was the Chai and Chat event. So maybe I'll pass it off to Hari real quick to talk a
Um,
little bit about that.
so last time when we did that chai and chat event, we got many like responses back and like lots of good feedback and like the it was very clear that there was a problem and then like a mental health problem, and so we try to tackle we're doing this event to tackle that problem. So like they like all of the suggestions they gave from our last event we're trying to incorporate into this event. And um yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Hari, yeah. So Rahul and Hari, you two are, yes, you're very humble, but you are the founding members of such a great organization and getting a good traction, good support. I can totally see when large organizations like Canadian Mental Health Association, CISC, Manav Seva, Ujala all come and start giving you that support, right? It means that whatever you're doing, first, it's very, very important. Second, there is a need out there. Mental health still has a little bit of stigma. Post COVID, I know that lot of stigmas were shattered, and at least people have started talking. Prior to COVID, it was one of the taboos. People just kept it a hush hush, right? And so tell us more about the 23rd of November. So let me just tell audience that it is happening at the CISC building, which is in the south side of Edmonton, 35th Avenue and 99th, I believe. I will give you the right address in a few seconds. In fact, I'll do run our caption at the bottom as well. Anyways, uh, yes. So tell us something about the event, the timings, where, and all that, Rahul.
Yeah. So as you mentioned, we are holding the event at the CISC building. It's going to be an event running from 9:30 a.m. all the way to 4:30 p.m. And during the event, we're going to have some incredible speakers come and discuss different topics around mental health. And then we're also going to be having some interactive workshops. We're going to be having 2 sessions of interactive workshops throughout the day. And then we're also going to have lunch as well. So, yeah.
Yeah, food certainly is a very important aspect. I know it always binds the people together. And so you mentioned about the workshop, and I am so grateful and honored to have Shamim Amiri, founder of Ujala Healings. Shamim, you have been very, very consistent and also an integral part of the South Asian community here, especially from the mental health perspective. And I've done few podcasts, and I know, and most of all the podcasts, most of the times you're talking about the youth and seniors. So here we're talking about the youth. What type of workshops are we planning to organize? I know you were one of the leads there. So what is the type of workshops we're expecting to have on the 23rd?
Thank you so much. Thank you, Rahul and Hari. I'm so incredibly proud of you to have this rush of need to do something about mental health. So my head's off to you, first of all. Thank you, Anu, for putting us all together and supporting. That's what V4U does, and they do a really good job. So I'm
Thank
really grateful for that. So what in the workshop, what we would expect, what I am trying to do is I want to do this workshop as a source where we can be safe and have compassion for each other and hold the space of mental health. Like the two boys just mentioned about the stigma attached, it's actually bigger than what we think. So to come out and actually have a space where we can discuss that you and I are not alone, regardless to of our age and gender and sex. But culturally, in the South Asian community, it is not something that is so easily that we talk about it. So one of the modality that I am a practitioner of, it's called emotional freedom technique, which is also known as tapping technique. And this technique will help us manage our emotions, calm our brains, our troubling thoughts, lower our stress, anxiety, uncomfortable feeling, and most importantly, it can help us to boost our performance. So when we are using EFT, we are using certain pressure points on our hand, on our face, on our head, and they are very similar to an acupressure points. So we will be working on that. I'm really excited to have this interactive workshop with whoever is coming. And the idea is to send people with some tools that they can take home as a coping strategy, as a coping mechanism. So I'm pretty pumped.
I know, and exactly. So V4U Radio is also very excited to hold such events because mental health is one of its social pillars, which we've been holding for the last 2 years, and we really feel that this it binds us together because mental health does not see race, gender, culture, countries. It is such a common issue between which is felt with amongst all the age groups, right from the childhood to seniors. It got different types of issues which continue to bother you. My second thought is as we talk about the South Asian United Mental Health, you are the key people who are putting this together. I know. Can you talk a little bit about the audience? What type of audience you're targeting here, Raul and Hari?
Um, I'm pretty sure it's 16 plus, and then like the parents involved. Rahul, is that right? And I also want to add on that this is we don't want any barriers to like limit you from coming to this, so that we made sure it's free for everyone to come. And and Rahul, is there anything else you want to add?
Yeah. Yeah, no, you covered it perfectly.
No, in fact, when I was kind of reading about it, Raul and Hari, I know that yes, it's for the youths, youngsters, and the youths who are kind of just in the high school or entering university, and along with the parents, you're inviting them. So it's just a great way to really have to break those intergenerational gaps as well, because sometimes each generation understands each other's very well. However, intergenerational gap has been there for thousands of years. People always say, hey, there's a generational gap. And again, the issues are very different and perceived differently. What I meant from Southeast Asian, would it be safe to say it includes youths and parents from the countries like India, Pakistan, Bangladesh, kind of thing?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, all South Asian countries.
So,
Yeah.
again, do you think youth is a youth, right? I mean, uh, people go to universities and high school together again. They talks very similar. You guys interact on a similar platform. Do you think the mental health challenges with the youth, regardless of the culture they come from, here in say Edmonton, is the same or different due to cultures?
we
Uh, oh
we
yeah.
got a company to like research into that question and make sure that this is you like a problem for like the youth. And yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, just to add on to that, one thing is that's very apparent is the cultural differences, and we want to make sure we take into account the cultural, situational, and historical differences that are within our community. And that is something we took into account when considering the structure of the event. So you briefly mentioned the intergenerational and generational uh, differences. And so, one thing that we did for the structure of the event is for our workshops specifically, we're separating the youth and the parents and family to get to experience these workshops in their own way and in their own safe space. Because sometimes you might feel a pressure to react differently when you're around certain family members, whether it be good or bad. And so by separating the two groups, we're hoping that um, youth and family members can take away tools from the workshop sessions so that when they come back together at the home, they can use those tools in synchrony to hopefully combat the issues around mental health. So after the workshops, we're going to have everyone come back together at the end on the same floor and do some reflection together. And so, yeah.
So,
And
uh,
one
sorry,
more
go
thing.
ahead.
Well, we want. I'm pretty sure Rahul said this, but I'm just making it direct. We wanted to create a safe space to talk. We didn't want anyone to think, "Oh, my parents are listening to me. I don't want to talk. I should not talk." We don't want that. So that's why that's also a main reason we separated the family and the youth.
So, Shamim, not throwing you under the bus because this is a great point Hari brings. Um, Parents and kids have got hold so much of their emotions sometimes, and not by due to fear, sometimes due to respect, and sometimes they know that there's no point in talking about because my father or my mother would not understand. When you're holding this workshop and you in this workshop, I assume that you would be inviting both the parents and the youths to join. How do you encourage? Sorry, Harish, did you have anything to add?
um we're gonna have like the workshops are one time is gonna be for youth, and one time is gonna be for family. So like it like kind of like so everyone is can do do the workshops separately. That's why we have it two times during the event.
That's great. That's good. That's good information as well. However, coming back to you, Shamim. So, uh, just based on experience, how do you break that barrier at this moment and people become conversational? Is there anything specific people should do in order to really get the best out of these workshops?
I think the biggest thing that comes to my mind, and I think Hari, you mentioned it, was about the safety. There is no barrier, and I think safety happens when there is a trust. And that takes time. So I think the idea is that through these workshops and through these speakers who are coming, we are holding the space for them, because most of our youth don't have this space where they can be authentically heard. So that's where the sense of fear or uncomfortableness comes, because A, nobody's there to listen to me, and B, if I say something, I'm going to get judged. So I think those are the two things that I have seen in my experience a lot. So I really like the idea that there is a workshop for youth and then for the parents, so that each can have a space from somebody who they don't know, an experience where let's find out why our kids are having issues. We touched base on the generational trauma is I think more appropriate to say that we all are wounded in some ways, and to hold the space separately and then bring them together and give them the tools so they can go home and have that safe space where they can trust each other, right? Like there's a beautiful saying that says, healing only happens when we reveal. And I think in this workshop, there will be a lot of revealing if there is a trust and confidence through these events, that kids can speak their mind, and parents can learn something from these experiences.
Such a great such I'm already so excited, and not to take away everything from, because the workshop, it's a big good workshop happening on 23rd of November, and purpose was just to intrigue more interest, and especially if you're a parent of a teenager, if you are really having those issues at home, this is a great place to bring yourselves. And again, it's a weekend, Saturday afternoon. It's such a great way to really spend an afternoon amongst great friends here. And again, I'm so excited to see youth doing such a phenomenal job here in Edmonton. And you're thinking about some there hundreds of thousands of kids here actually. So certainly somebody has to start somewhere to make it a very safe place to come and bring your issues and discuss openly, so that you walk away with some solutions as well. Thank you so much again for joining. Again, this is V4U Radio bringing such a promotion. Before you go, I would just bring on the poster up on the screens, and one of you, Raul, I would let you maybe just loudly talk about what's happening on 23rd of November.
Yeah, so we're gonna have a bunch of different speakers and workshops, as we've mentioned before. They're gonna be such a fun time and such an educational time, most importantly. I just wanna, as we're wrapping this up, I just wanna say thank you so much for having us on your talk show radio today. It is such an honor to be here to talk about our event. And I also wanna mention that so many people behind the scenes are working so hard on this. Just to name a few people: Rovina, Sunita, Farith, Papia, so many wonderful and amazing people working with us and have allowed Hari and I to bring this project come to life alongside them. And yeah, thank you guys. It is going to be an amazing event. You guys should definitely check it out. Yeah, I'll pass it off to Hari for any last words as well.
You summarized everything. So, yeah. Yes.
Shamim, I'll keep the poster up, and maybe you can speak from behind the scenes here, a little bit of the poster, and maybe last few words to sum it up.
You know what? If you guys are all watching live, come. This is going to be an exciting event. Support these young kids, support the family, and I know I'm pretty excited for this event. So I hope to see you all.
And same here. V4U Radio is so excited to bring the Headspace Hangout. One thing I just still wanted, and I'm so sorry, I'm bringing at the closure here. Who came out with such a wonderful word, Headspace Hangout? Such a beautiful name. Whose mind is this?
I don't fully remember.
No worries. I just wanted to say.
I wanted to say something about the workshops. We're gonna have like many workshops, so like topics that we're gonna cover through presentations and panel discussions are going to be like rethinking mental health, anti-bullying. It was the main one, self-care, and like how to parent with like the or with being in a new country, and like in our old cultural values from India or wherever you're from, Pakistan, and addiction and mental health. Yeah. And more, but yeah,
you guys are such eloquent speakers. I am so grateful, honored to have been included as your media partners. And guys, I've worked with Canadian Mental Health Association, I've worked with Maanav, Sewa, I've worked with CISC, and I can really vouch for these big visionary organization, if they've picked you, that SAMIA, which is the South Asian United Mental Health, there has to be some great things. I'm really looking forward to really attending this event, having this event covered live, and of course looking up for the workshops as well. So thank you so much for coming, and then we'll come back again probably just before the show, which is closely to 19th 20th of November. Bring you again back with some more speakers, some more exciting things. For now, just goodbye, good luck from V4U Radio. Thank you so much, guys. Enjoy the afternoon.